All right, I guess we'll get started here. So, still kind of stuck, not really moving too much. We're inside. Well, this would be the second inside day, which some people, I don't know. I usually, second inside day, two consecutive inside days under decreasing volume is a neutral thing, right? Now, two consecutive inside days with elevated volume or increasing volume is a sign, right? So when you're getting everything's tightening up in terms of the range, you look at the volume. That kind of gives you indication if there's potential for this thing to pop in either direction. I got nothing right now, so it just seems like this last 2 weeks I really have been indecisive and uh, I overall always will be bullish. It's always easy to be bearish because at some point you'd be like, "Oh, look, you're right," But then the long term, the overall market, you're always gonna be wrong. And if you are right, eventually, it doesn't matter anymore, right? If you are actually right that the market's just worth nothing and everything's going to implode, guess what? All that money that you think you're going to get from that massive short of the whole entire market and everything's overpriced and all that stuff, if that's the reality, the world is essentially done. So you might as well be bullish because bullish means there's a future, right? Because that's what we're riding on. When was the last time, like what, mid 90s, the late 90s was when the market was kind of priced on really true fundamentals of what things are now with very little premium on the future. And then once we hit the 2000s, for the last quarter century, it is all about what the future is to come. And here's the thing, like the models, we might be half a decade, maybe in some cases a decade away in some of these tickers of what their real value is. But there's enough evidence now that these companies, if there's enough conviction and there's enough support and there's enough indicators that they're going to hit these things, they pretty much do, right? And a lot of money almost forces it to occur, and public policy will force it to transpire because these people are, it's good to follow where these politicians are making their money because they're the ones that are benefiting. Like they're taking our taxpayer money and making sure that certain things are funded that they're invested in. So if you want to get any of that money back in some way, follow them and then realize that if they're overly bullish on something, go for it. Now, it doesn't mean you can't sell things, doesn't mean you can't short things because things get too far outside the mean, right? Or standard deviations. But, in general, a trajectory up is always going to be the way, especially with inflation. And the money has to go somewhere, goes to the market, makes everybody believe that things are better than they are. The numbers are different, but the actual reality is the same. Everything's just been recalibrated for what it is now. All right, anyway, let's get into it. Looks like SPY, again, we're looking at smaller. I mean, maybe there's a slight trend to the upside, but in general, I'm going to say, this could be something new here. Yeah, that looks, so you got that. But notice we're sitting right against this sucker. I'm sorry I really don't like cleaning up my SPY chart. I just like having these things here because when it really wants to roll over, that's what's gonna happen. But you could look. When did this sucker get out of hand? Once it broke the monthly anchor, see, like it had some struggle with the daily, but that dotted line that you see right here, right, comes in here. That's from this high, right? So that's when it got above this high, which was the previous high. Once it got above that, notice how big pop, right? And it just grinds all the way up above against this Keltner channel. Just awesome. It's all stats, guys. It's all statistics. It's all games. Everything's automated. Everything's just following it, guys. You just gotta play the game. It's all we're doing. Now, when we're dealing with our individual tickers, right? we want to pick the winners. We picked the the Viking Therapeutics. We've picked the Novavaxes. We've picked, I mean, plenty of, I mean, there's what else? ACADs. What else do we have great numbers on? BBIO might be one of our best. We were down here with the sevens. That was one of our first big things we got on. Were sevens and went all the way up to 40. Congratulations, right? Been waiting on Aspirion, but that seems like that's finally coming around. What else do we have? Adma's been a long-term hold for us, right? So we've had a lot of these suckers kind of, Schrodinger we did pretty well on as well. What did we do? Rigel we're waiting on, but that's starting to have a setup. CKPT, waiting a long time, that's been a setup. Aquestive. I guess you would say we finally, we probably, we could say it's good enough that we've benefited from it going from 67, 67 was it like the low? Or no, 70? 60, yeah, that was like, oh, anyway, in the 70s going up to almost $7 a share. We'll take that, right? We'll take that. Xeris, we got to wait on too. But I think that's promising right now. Anybody else in here that we're waiting on? It's kind of like we've done well on certain things. Now we have to wait. Oh, HRTX. Absolute. This is going to be a good one for us. If you got in, you got it. You loaded when it was absurdly cheap. Company was reporting growth, right? And then they just finally gave up. You could see this is when it came down here. Let's just draw. Let's get this line in here. I haven't put it in yet, but notice that when it comes down here, boom, 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 right? And then finally comes through. Now look, you can kind of, you can imagine that line coming in right here. That's the breakout, right? But that comes down, and that line keeps going down through. Look, there's the retest. Nice solid shadow wick coming up. Boom, gets above. See you later. Why did this occur? Because it finally gave up, retested it, didn't want to really didn't want to go any lower, got a higher low set in, rising monthly RSI, right? Even though this daily, see the daily was getting a little bit lower, monthly was starting to rise, you get that powerful move, right? Because that's exhaustive. Here's the lower, look, here's the share price, lower RSI, lower share price, higher RSI. Boom. That's when you finally get these big, powerful reversals, guys. You can add, you can make small additions so that when it's time to go, you at least you got something in the boat already, right? But when you see that confirmation, that's when you jump in. You got your luggage in there, but it's time for when you want to make that big addition. And then look, you're here, and that's when you're in, and you're already taking the stuff you have here. You're already trying to book. You're setting up your sell orders at the sell targets, and you just let it go. If it doesn't get there, whatever. But the reality is that I should say the reality. The possibility that this is actually a multi-year low, probable. Why? Growing sales, right? Growing sales. And why would you, the volume, you got volume here, guys. So you got people buying it up. Why would they're buying it up? Why would they want to sell? They've got a good price. It's exhaustive of the sellers. Man, that was such a long grind down. There it is. Okay. Let's work this a little bit more here so we get a clearer picture. Nope, that won't be it. There. There's one. That one will be good, but you can, it's too far. Yeah, not You can probably get the idea here. Close enough, but anyway. Get here when it came down yet. So that's one we're hanging on to. Anybody else in here that we really want to hold on to for a while? Zyme is an interesting one to look at here. This is one I stared right at. I didn't grab it. But their recent data was pretty good. So this little sell-off might be an opportunity here. So where's our intersection for this? What's the low? Is this the real low? Okay. Ah, that's not good. Okay. What the? It's not even close. Is it me or is it Trendspider today? I would have said it's me, but I'm having questions here. And there's this one, right? So that's what she's failing on, but she's reacquired. I mean, the angle of attack right now is definitely to the downside, but this is interesting where I have to readjust my buy threshold for the sucker, I think. You know what? No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We'll wait. I still might have to adjust it, but I'm not saying that we have to jump on this now. But they had good earnings, so it's one to keep an eye. Bicycle's another one to keep an eye on too. VCYT, I forgot about you. What are you doing these days? $20 a share? That's a potential. Oh yeah, Exact Sciences. This is another one. When it comes down, you just grab it. It's my new ACAD. Just whenever you want. These are one of the ones where it just comes down. It's just almost a no-brainer because it just trades. It's a trading. I mean, that's what I mean. We want to be right on the fundamental and like the long-term potential of these guys, but like at some point, EBS is going to be a good one to pick up. We just gotta wait for it. Maybe it is now. I'm not sure, but I mean, I can't believe something with this much revenue and this much government contracts, all that stuff is just worth so little. Sorry that I'm over the board. ALKS. Gotta get to work today. All right, I'm gonna end it there to get going. Got something to do around 10 o'clock here. I'll be around, obviously. Let me know if you have any questions, any tickers that you want me to take a look at. I do have a write-up on SRPT coming. It's going to be an interesting one. So, take a look there. Anybody else? Anything else to really look at? Pfizer's probably one to make note of. Yeah, she's still a mess down here. Still a mess. But she bounced off this 26.43. I'll go with that. All right, guys, let me know, and I'll try to get around to anything that you have posted. Let's be patient again. I don't think the market's going anywhere. XBI has not looked strong for a while now, so nothing to make a move there. She's pressuring the upper end here. Maybe she pops through. If she does, I mean, I guess let's say you could probably start to look for anything that you want to bid up if she really does get the 21 and holds. 521. But it's probably better just keep an eye on this sucker. I mean, it's an okay setup because I mean the shadow here is long enough, right? So, and you can see she's holding an uptrend or upward trajectory. It's this that scares me, is that she got here and she just kind of where she probably should have had a moment of really support. She just popped right down through. Now that could be just because of the rate cuts or the lack of them. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, good luck.